Hello beautiful learners, hope you are doing great and I'm also good by the grace of Almighty. So in this lesson we're going to practice Cambridge IELTS 5 speaking test 1. So before going to start our class I just need to check whether you can hear me. Just give me a few sec to check it. Okay, I'm quite sure that you can listen me. Now let's move on. Okay, so in IELTS speaking test we have 3 module and each module have in part 1 we have some question regarding ourselves. Okay, and in the second part we have a cue card on a specific topic, and in third there is another 2 part, and each part belong 3 questions. Okay, so let's see them. Let's start it with part 1. Okay, now let's see which question we have. Part 1. Okay, the question is, which part of your country do most people live in? So the answer you can say, actually in my point of view the population around my country is pretty much evenly spread since it's a small country. However, if you ask this question purely for academic purposes, I have to say that the middle part of my country, along with the adjacent areas to our capital city, is home to most of the people in my country. Okay, let's move on. Tell me about the main industries there. Well, you may hear it that many people in the world say Bangladesh is the second China, since it's a semi-industrialized nation with major industries like food and processing industries, garments industries, fish industries, and so on. However, we also have some minor industries operating on a limited scale like food packaging industries and electric gadgets manufacturing industries. Then third question is, how easy is it to travel around your country? So the answer you can say, frankly speaking, it is very convenient to travel around my country providing that you can afford to pay for expenses. You just need to phone the ticket agency to book a seat in advance, and they will give you all the information regarding where and when to be present. Furthermore, the transportation system in my country is getting more and more improved. You can travel by air roads, railway, waterways, and so on. And in the fourth we have, has your country changed much since you were a child? The answer you can say, definitely I would say that my country has changed significantly for better, especially in terms of quick economic development and building better roads and infrastructures. Besides, it has improved remarkably in terms of incorporating modern technologies into our lives. Finally, it also has witnessed a notable increase in its population since it was a child. Okay, let's move on with part 2. As I said already, in part 2 we have cue card, so let's see it. Okay, describe a well-known person you like or admire. You should say who this person is, what this person has done, why this person is well known, and explain why you admire this person. Okay, so one approach is that we all have our favorite personalities whom we respect and love from the bottom of our heart. Well, some of them are friends, family whom we meet almost every day. A few of them are renowned sportsmen or famous silver screen stars whom we have never met. Interestingly, I have a list of my favorite personalities from different arenas whom I follow on social networking platforms, and I admire them for their talents, skills, contribution, philanthropic activities, and success stories. One such famous person whom I greatly admire is Cristiano Ronaldo, one of the greatest football players of all time. Was born on February 5th, 1985 in a small village of Portugal. He's a well-respected sportsman whom I have been following in news and on Twitter for more than 8 years. He's a wonder boy in football, and he and the favorite sportsman of millions of football fans. Ronaldo is a Portuguese professional footballer who plays as a forward for Premier League club Manchester United and captains the Portugal national team. He has won 32 trophies in his career. Ronaldo holds the record for 170 international goals and over 680 senior career goals for his club and country. Thus, he is world renowned and inspiration to many aspiring football players. Ronaldo has earned my deep admiration primarily for his amiable character and formidable skills. Throughout his career, he has contributed his time and finance to the United Nations Children's Fund and also many other charitable funds. Last but not the least, he is a legend in football history and deserved our respect and admiration. I admire him more than any other football player I know. Okay, let's begin with part 3. As I said already, in part 3 we have two topic. Each topic belong 3 questions. Okay, let's begin it with topic number 1. Okay, so topic number 1 is famous people in your country. So let's see the question. Okay, what kind of people became famous people these days? So one approach is that, well, I suppose rich and powerful people with lots of money are usually famous these days. But if you want me to be specific, I would say that music artists, movie stars, cultural celebrities, successful sports people, top business executives of a very big and profitable companies, and politicians usually fall into the categories of famous people. And the reporter, for instance, is a well-known politician guy in my country. Even some controversial persons, with the help of a little bit of their wits as well as media can become famous overnight these days. Let's see the next one. Is this different from the kind of achievement that made people famous in the first? In what way? And one approach is, no, I don't think so. From the best of my knowledge, I would say that the same kinds of achievement or success used to make people famous in the first as it is today, except of course in the first those famous people didn't receive as much media coverage as these days, probably because the media technology back then wasn't exactly as advanced as today. As a result, it was not exactly very easy to become famous quickly as in these days. Besides, in the first, successful people didn't necessarily chase fame with the same intensity as we see it today. So the number of famous people was relatively much lower. Let's move on to next. How do you think people will become famous in the future? So one approach is that, well, it's really tough question to answer. I suppose people will become famous in the same way as we see it today, by hard work, dedication, and determination, as well as by using their God-gifted talents. However, in my humble opinion, the use of social media networks will probably play the most crucial role in deciding how much famous a person will become in the future, since we are getting more attached to social media networks. Let's move on to topic number 2. Okay, being in a public EV. Let's see the question. What are the good things about being famous? Are there any disadvantages? Let's see the answer. Well, it's a good question. Definitely, there are always pros and cons of having popularity. Like when a person is popular, everybody knows about him. Companies beg of a prominent person to promote their products. Restaurants offer them the best seats and the most special dishes, sometimes for free, and so on. The biggest disadvantages, however, of having popularity is that a famous person does not usually have a private life. As a result, he is most often in fear of losing his popularity for disclosing his scandals or any sorts of bad news about him, I assume. Let's see the next question. Okay, how does the media in your country treat famous people? The answer, you can say, it's really critical to give you a proper answer, since I'm not quite certain. But from the best of my from my best knowledge, uh, I don't think that the media in my country is any different when it comes to treating celebrities. They take a keen interest in their professional and personal lives and keep holding interviews with them. Sometimes I got the feeling that they are overdoing it a bit. Sometimes I fail to see the news value for a story they have published about a celebrity. Let's see the next one. Why do you think ordinary people are interested in the lives of famous people? The answer, you can say, that's a wise question. Thanks for asking me such a question. There might always be tons of obvious reasons why general people follow a prominent person, since such as since they are ordinary, naturally they became a bit interested in the lives of famous person to learn what kind of things they exactly do that makes them too famous, so famous. Besides, everybody wants to identify themselves with successful and important people in order to prove that they are also considered important to others. Then, of course, there are some others who genuinely want to follow in the footsteps of the famous people by learning about them in order to become just like them in future, and so on. So that's all about our today's lesson. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. So I will see you in the next class. Bye.